Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Wednesday, September the 25th. My name is Judge Esparza. We have some writ hearings scheduled for the afternoon. The defendants are all present in the courtroom. They have been sworn in. The first case we're going to call on the docket is C4362-24-C, State of Texas versus Juan Chapa. Mr. Chapa, where are you? Go ahead and stand up, sir. Move a little bit back. Right there. Can you see yourself? Sure. Right there's fine. Robert Handy with the Public Defender's Office. It's your motion, sir. You may proceed.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Sorry that I'm in a car right now. I have Veterans Court just a little bit, but good afternoon. And yeah, yes, Your Honor, I'm on behalf of Mr. Chapa. Of course, the bond amount that he has right now is difficult to pay for Mr. Chapa. We, of course, would humbly request a bond reduction in his case. Regarding some background, Your Honor, he is a U.S. citizen. He is a Valley resident out of Mission. He does have some health issues, and he is, of course, indigent, and he's been incarcerated for, I believe, 11 days of today, and the bond is at $30,000, $15,000 for the two, for both of the state jail felony charges. But regarding, again, I'm going to try to go a little bit quick with this. Regarding his ties to the Valley, he believe, from my understanding, he's still working at a plumbing company. He does have further ties as well, doing jobs over here, side jobs in Hidalgo County. Some further background, Judge, is he does have 3 kids, 2 of which are adults. He does take care of the oldest, or at least with the oldest kids, their grandkids. He does have a youngest son, which is 10 years old, who is special needs, and he does provide for his youngest son, and as well as taking care of his ex-wife. Also, Your Honor, he does take care of his elderly father, who resides in Elsa. His mother just passed away in 2016, so he would be staying over there if the bond was reduced. But given all of these factors, Your Honor, we're just requesting for, a PR bond for both, whether 1,500 PR bond for both or something lower regarding with the cash surety on those cases, and being reasonable and sufficient for Mr. Chapa's appearance in court. So any consideration would be appreciated, Judge.
All right, what says the state?
Yes, Your Honor. Charles Blau for the state. The state does not recommend a reduction, Your Honor. Mr. Chapa, he was on a motion. He was on probation for evading arrest with a vehicle when he picked up this additional arrest. He also, well, that's the reason he was on probation and doesn't have a bond for that motion to revoke in the 93rd.
Has the MTR been filed already?
The motion to, I'm sorry.
Has it been filed? I didn't see a motion to revoke.
I can check that, Your Honor. I'm talking about a CR 4747-23-B. I can check that.
Mr. Chapa, how old are you, sir?
5 years old, sir.
Are you currently on probation?
I was on probation. I just never, there was a misunderstanding between the court order and the probation. Whatever the probation went ahead.
Are you on probation? My question is, are you on probation?
Yes, I should be on.
Have you been reporting?
No, sir, I have not.
When were you put on probation? Hang on a minute, Robert. When were you put on probation?
November.
When?
November or December.
2023?
I reported he's like Mr. Perez is in a
This
weird.
This is my question. When were you put on probation?
December of last year.
Okay. Since that time, have you ever reported to probation?
I reported it.
When?
Probably till March.
And then you stopped reporting?
And me and him got into a misunderstanding.
Stop reporting?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But by that time, I was already,
There's a motion to revoke on file, sir, which means
I'm
you're gonna have to go to court to take care of that with, it's out of the, what court is that? What's the cousin? It's out of the 93rd District Court, so there's no bond set on that case. So even if I reduce your bond here, you're not gonna get out, because you're gonna have to go to that court to see if the judge is gonna give you a bond or if he's gonna sentence you. Right now, there's no bond set on it. Do you understand that? All right. Where do you work?
I do plumbing along with a cousin of mine.
The vehicle was recovered?
Yes, sir.
We'll go ahead and reduce your bond in this case. Understand, even if you post bond, you're not gonna get out because that's gonna hold you. You understand that? Maybe that judge will give you a bond. That's something you can take up with him. I don't have any authority of it. While you're out on bond, I'm also gonna order monthly UAs, which means they're gonna drug test you. You come back positive for drugs or alcohol, you're gonna end up back in jail. You understand? Bond will be reduced, to $2,500 cash surety on each count. So times two, so a total of $5,000 on these two charges. You have to go address that court, see if he's gonna give you a bond or not. Understand? Anything else, Robert?
That should be it, Your Honor. And we have been appointed to the MTR, Your Honor, on the 17th this month. So a motion to set bond has been set already by the office. So, but I appreciate it, Your Honor, for taking the time this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm also gonna order no contact with the victim. Is your sister, right, on the theft? Does she live in the same house as you?
I mean, I'm in good compliance with her. I mean, I just spoke to her last night.
Okay, all right, well then we're not gonna,
Yeah, there's no hate there.
all right.
What's done is done. We understand. I gotta move on. Here you go.
Okay, good deal. Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat. Thank you, Robert.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. You have a good afternoon, Your Honor. You take care.
You too. Take care.
Sure.
Case I'm gonna call is C 4381-24-C, State of Texas versus Humberto Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, you speak English, correct? Yes. Just go ahead and stand over there where the other gentleman was standing. Christopher Castillo, it's your motion, sir. Client speaks English, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. My name is Christopher Castillo, and I represent Mr. Hernandez in this matter. We're here respectfully requesting a reduction in his bond, which is currently set at $75,000. Mr. Hernandez is being charged with a Class B misdemeanor of terroristic threat at this time, Your Honor. My client was on his first day of the job and in training, but has since been let go. So he does not have a job at this moment, but he is currently a student at STC seeking a certificate, and I guess to be a mechanic. My client does not have a criminal history, Your Honor. This is the first offense. So we're just asking for a reduction in the bond, which we believe to be excessive because it is a Class B misdemeanor, and or a PR bond at this time, Your Honor.
What says the state?
Yes, Your Honor. We do not support a reduction based on the circumstances of the nature of the arrested offense of threatening a school. And I'm showing that I believe on the 23rd of September, it was transferred to be a felony, fake alarm, or report emergency for the charge. But regardless of that, just because of the circumstances of the nature of the arrested offense, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, how old are you, sir? 20 years old? Okay. What city do you live in? Who do you live with? Okay. Understand what the charges are, right? Okay. You can't go back. I don't want you going back to the school. You understand that? My understanding is they let you go, your job, you were fired or terminated. Please don't go back to the campus. I'm ordering you got to go back to the schools, okay? I'm gonna reduce the bond to $5,000 cash surety. Ask that he stay away from the campuses. Anything else, Chris?
No, nothing at this time, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. Stay
Thank
in
you,
contact
Judge.
with your attorney. This is just gonna get you out of jail. You're gonna have to show up at the courthouse at a later date with your attorney. So you get out, call him. Understand? All right. Good luck to you.
Yes, Judge, and I'll be in contact with his family as well. Thank you.
You bet. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Can you contact? The next case we're gonna call is C 4315-24-E State of Texas versus Federico Melendez. You speak English, correct, Mr. Melendez? Rubio, this is your motion.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, Mr. Melendez is, I believe, 40 years old, and he resides in McAllen, Texas. He's currently pending several charges. Judge, we filed a writ of habeas corpus. These bonds are totaling in an amount that's excessive. He does not have the financial resources to pay these bonds. I've known Mr. Melendez for a while, know his family well. The two bonds that are particularly high, Judge, are they're two drug cases, and they're listed in my writ. And each of those drug cases have a bond of 50,000 cash as surety, totaling 100,000 just on those two charges, Judge. And we're respectfully asking the court to consider reducing those bonds to an amount that may be more in line with something that he can make. He currently resides at 2113 South 30th and a half Street, McAllen, Texas. And the zip code there is 78503. And I've spoken at length with his mother and his sister, and we're asking if the court could consider reducing that to an amount that may be commensurate with something he can make. Asking the court if the court could consider 5,000 cash surety on each one of those instead of 50,000, Judge. He does have some additional cases, Judge, that have not been filed yet. Those bonds are relatively small. He's got an unlawfully carrying a weapon. That case, I believe, has already been filed as a misdemeanor. And so that may be outside the court's jurisdiction as far as consideration for bond reduction. He has an evading arrest, a misdemeanor. I don't think that one has been filed, and that bond is 5,000 cash as surety. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider maybe $1,000 PR bond on that case. He does have two other felony cases of evading arrest with a motor vehicle, and those are 5,000 cash as surety. I'm asking the court to consider reducing those to $500 cash as surety. And he's got another possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than a gram. I think it was a 0.12 gram. That bond was set at 3,000. I'm asking 3,000 cash as surety. I'm asking for a PR bond on that case.
Okay. What says the state?
Yes, Your Honor. The state does not support a reduction of the bonds in this case based on Mr. Melendez's criminal history that has other evading arrest charges.
Okay. You have a job, Mr. Melendez?
Sir,
Where do you work?
I'm a mechanic.
Where do you work?
I used to work for CO2 Performance, but they moved to Houston. So I've been doing jobs at the house, or I go to people's house.
Are you married?
I got 3 kids. I'm not legally married, but got three boys and 1 little girl.
They live with you?
My youngest, my 2-year-old.
I'm gonna order monthly UA's drug test. You get it tested every month. You come back positive for drugs or alcohol, you're gonna end up back in jail. You understand? I'm also gonna order that you be released to AIP officials, which means you'll be under house arrest. You can go visit your attorney. You can go to the doctor's office. You can go to your court appointments, but you need to notify them ahead of time. Before you're released from here, they'll give you a form with all the rules. They'll explain them to them. You sign off on it. You're gonna leave your house. You need to have their permission first, and you need to tell them where you're going. If you're supposed to be home and they go check and you're not there, they'll notify the court. That's a violation, and you could end up back in jail. Is that clear? Bond on the case that's currently set at $3,000, the possession charge, bond will be reduced to $1,000. Cash surety. Bond on the evading arrest, detention with a vehicle will remain at $5,000 cash surety. The bond on, is there two evading arrests with vehicle?
I think he had two of them, I think.
Yeah, the second one will stay at $5,000 cash surety also. The two charges that are set at $50,000 each, bond will be reduced to $7,500 cash surety each one.
How much on each one of those two, Judge? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry, 7,500, so it's 7,500 times two, that's 15, and then the other two are at 5, it's 25, 26,000 total.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I did
Very,
the
very,
math right. I did the math right. Make sure if you get out, you comply with the orders of the court, otherwise you will end up back in jail. You understand? Stay in contact with your attorney. Is that clear? All right, go ahead and have a seat. Good luck to you. We got one more review. Hang on. Next case we're gonna call is C 4333-24-I, State of Texas versus Jesus Grimaldo. Go ahead, stand up. You speak English, Mr. Grimaldo? He is present. Mr. Salinas, this is your motion.
yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Yes, Judge. Judge, I did file a writ for Mr. Grimaldo. Judge, he was arrested on some charges. His bonds are excessive, Judge. He's got a bond of for aggravated kidnapping. This is out of Farm Municipal Court, 250,000. For sexual assault, 250,000. And I'm asking the court to consider reducing those to an amount that's more in line with something that the defendant can make. I'm asking for from 250 to 5,000 cash surety on each case. Judge, if you read the probable cause that was filed in these cases, the story of the alleged victim in this case is a little far-fetched. The story is that she's apparently in this country for approximately 45 days, possesses a cell phone that nobody was able to find for 45 days, and then decides to make a report that she's being held captive. It's just an unbelievable story. I believe this is probably one of those cases where a person decides, hey, you can get a U visa by just making a complaint that somebody's raping you or kidnapping you. This is, I think the facts are out of line with the reality of what happened in this case. If you look at the exaggeration of the complaint says one of the offenses is a sexual assault, and I don't see that based on the allegations that are in the sworn affidavit from the affiant, Judge, that would support that. It may support an allegation of an attempted sexual assault, but I don't see the sexual assault, or maybe an indecent assault, which is a Class A misdemeanor, but not a felony sexual assault, Judge. So my client is a U.S. citizen. He's 20 years old. I don't believe he's ever been convicted of a felony. He currently resides in Peñitas, Texas, Judge. He is unable to make the bond that's currently set in the amount of 250 for each count for a total of 500,000. He's respectfully asking the court to consider reducing those amounts to an amount that would be in line with something he could make. He'll comply with any condition that the court will impose on him, AIP, house arrest. You want a GPS monitor on him. I know that's expensive, Judge. Whatever the court would impose, he'd be grateful if the court would consider reducing those bonds. Judge, he is currently pending out of the 464th, Judge. He has another case that has been filed. So he had an evading arrest, and I guess when he got arrested, he had some money with him. So he was arrested for evading arrest with a motor vehicle and money laundering. And he posted those bonds, but the bondsman that had gotten him out on bond surrendered those bonds. So those are two additional bonds that he's gonna have to make. And each one of those bonds was, the rating was 7,500, cash or surety, and the money laundering was 2,500. So factoring that in, Judge, he's got 250, and then another 10,000. So we're just asking the court to consider reducing those bonds.
What says the state?
Your Honor, the state does not support a reduction, just based on the fact that he already had the pending charges referenced by Mr. Salinas for evading arrest and money laundering in CR 3981-24L and the 464th.
He hasn't even been arraigned, Judge, on those.
Yeah, I looked at the complaint from that charge, which was back in August of last year.
Yes.
You sent for arraignment in October, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I read the complaint on this case. Looks like SWAT was brought in to make entrance to the residence where the defendant was at. He was arrested there. I don't know if they indicated that they found a weapon or not. Regardless, he's out on bond on felony charges, and he picked up 2 more very serious felony charges. How old are you, Mr. Grimaldo?
20.
Graduate from high school?
Sir, I just need a half credit of graduate.
Should have done it. You have a job?
Yeah.
Where do you work?
It's a main company there
Can you
with,
speak a little louder? I'm old, I can't hear.
it's a main company there with, my girlfriend's dad. I have check stubs and all that under my name and
How long have you been working there?
like half a year
And who do you live with?
with my wife.
If you are released, I'm going to order that you be released to AIP officials. Same thing I told this other individual. They'll come here to the jail before you're released. They're going to go over the contract, all the rules. Basically, you're under house arrest and you've got to follow those rules. If you don't follow those rules, they're going to notify the court and you're going to end up back in jail. You understand? One of the key things is don't get arrested again. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. If you have guns or anything in your home, whether they're yours or not, they need to be out of the house. If probation or AIP officials go check and they find weapons or bullets or ammunition, that's a violation. You're going to end up back in jail. Is that clear? Also going to order monthly UAs through probation. They're going to drug test you. If you come back positive for drugs or alcohol, I will put you back in jail. Is that clear?
That's right.
No contact with the alleged victims. That means don't be, I don't know if you know them or not, if you have contact, don't send text messages, don't send a friend to go tell them anything. Is that clear? Bond on the aggravated kidnapping charge. Be reduced to $15,000. Cash surety. Bond on the sexual assault will be reduced to $15,000 cash surety.
Thank you, Your Honor. And
All
that,
right.
is that 1515, Judge?
15,000 on each.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
The next case we're gonna call is, Savannah, there you go. C 4375-24-I, State of Texas versus April Garza. You speak English, April? Okay. Savannah,
Yes, Judge, good afternoon.
you may proceed.
Thank you. Judge, by way of proffer, my client is being held on drug-related offenses. She was previously employed as a provider. At most, she made about $600 a month was her take-home. She does have 4 children, Judge, ages 13 to 20. While she's not the primary custodial parent of those children, she does have possession and access to the children. She was living I believe with her father. In speaking with the family, they do not have any money whatsoever to assist with the bond. Her previous case, Judge, was out of the 332nd, and I don't show a revo or anything on file. I believe that case was successfully completed. I may be inaccurate on that, Judge. I'm just trying to double check my notes here. She is a resident of Mission, Texas, Judge, where she would continue to stay with her father with the court's permission, where she's able to get out. And she is a USC. She's not a flight risk, Judge. We're not opposed to any additional conditions, be it AIP or otherwise, including drug patch if necessary. These are, as I mentioned, all drug-related offenses. Unfortunately, the bonds are just so significantly high that there's no way she'd ever be able to make them. The highest one being at $90,000. And then they go down from there, Judge. But even if we were to set, 15,000 cash surety on each of these counts, she's not going to be able to make it. We're asking the court to consider $5,000 bonds, Judge, on the manufacturing and delivery, and then setting PR bonds on the possession of marijuana.
In the POM charge, the complaint has already been filed. It's CR 24-10515E. So it's out of court 5. You'll have to check with court 5 about getting that bond reduced.
Thank you, Judge. I'll double check with that right away.
What says the state?
Your Honor, the state does not object to reducing the bonds in half.
Yeah, and the previous case she had, it looks like it was a felony possession charge that, from what I'm reading, they sentenced her back in February of last year to it was a state jail felony. I think she did 195 days time here in the county, and they gave her credit for 195 days. You're not on probation, are you, ma'am? Yeah. How old are you?
38.
You keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna spend all your time in jail. You got kids, right? Can't do them any good locked up. You just did 6 months, and you're back here again. We'll order monthly UAs. You come back dirty. The first time you come back dirty or you don't show up, when they tell you to show up, I'm gonna put you back in jail. Is that clear? Bond on count 1. Be reduced to $3,000 cash surety. Bond on count 2 be reduced to $3,000 cash surety. Bond on count 3 will be $3,000 cash surety. And bond on count 4 be $2,000 cash surety. Of 11,000. Did you hear me, Savannah?
Yes, Judge. I was counting on my fingers here. 3, 6, 9. Yes, Judge. That'll be 11,000 total. Judge, and I didn't catch that you said ordering monthly UAs?
Ordering monthly UAs. So
Yes, Judge.
she needs to stay clean. First time she comes back dirty or she doesn't go to report like she's supposed to, I'm gonna put her back in jail. Is that clear? For your family, man. Anything else, Savannah?
Not on behalf of the defense, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank you,
afternoon.
Judge. Likewise, bye-bye.
Have you excused, Your
Yeah,
Honor?
thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Have a good afternoon.
You too.